Hey, Skullomaniacs. I'm Jay Fisk here. I'm very surprised of the how the first couple of videos was able to snag a bunch of views and subscribers. We did not expect that. Me, G Money, and the others, we did not expect that. So we're very ecstatic and we're happy about it. Ooh, you even had G Money off the walls as soon as he came into work. Oh, it was the best expression on his face. Me, I was happy as hell to know that my videos are reaching out to people. Um, yeah, G Money recently just posted a picture. A picture, a video of tyrannical bosses slash a motivational montage, and that's all. That's how you're supposed to go in life. The boss part is kind of messed up, but still, everything's all laid out right there just from that video. Um, since you know this is how you have to live it. The way he was explaining it. But yeah, some of us may have obstacles in the way and all that. Like one of those obstacles is a loss of a family member. Okay. Now that's the topic I'm gonna stick to because of someone that I know. She's just like a sister to me. She was very, very close to my dad. My dad basically was there for her and was her father figure. And she was down in the dumps about his death, which I understand because his death was December 15th. And that really does mess up like my holiday. Not that it messes it up, but it makes me like depressed, down because during this time, me and my dad, drinking eggnog, going to people's houses, having fun and all that, and then, it's all gone like that. Mind you, this happened 5 years ago. It happened in 2015, and it still hurts to this day, you know. And when I was talking to her, it brought me back to those days when we were in the hospital for my dad's final days. And it did not go the way I thought it would. It went horrible. The first day when he was taken to the hospital, I was the one that had to help the paramedics get my dad out of his bedroom because he wasn't able to move. Okay, so it was very like anxiety, hitting hard, and yeah, his first day there, I did not go to the hospital because I did not want to see my father hooked up to the machines and all that. So my sister's uncle calls me. He says, "Hey, you should be here. This could be your dad's final hours and all that, and you should be here. Everybody else is here." And I explained it to him. I didn't want to be there because of that. And he responded saying, it's not, it's not your fault or anything like that. You know, I'm not gonna force you to come in, but I think you should because out of all your dad's kids, you were the closest one to him and all that. You know, like yeah, I technically was, but my little brother was there too. My dad had 8 of us. My little brother, I believe he was probably like, if I'm right, he was probably like 11 years old. So my brother would help my dad around the house. I would help my dad around the house, up the steps, down the steps, whatever. My baby sister, she was, still too young at the time to understand what was going on. Um, but yeah, I was really upset because my sister told me that she was basically like kicked out of the hospital room, my dad's room, by 2 people from my family members, my brother, and I was upset, like I was pissed, But when I went into the hospital, into his room the next day, I didn't say nothing. I just kept quiet and everything because, like I said, that's not a place for drama at all. which happened mostly in there. The only one that really didn't start no issues or anything was my oldest brother, Joey, which I respect him the most out of my siblings because Joey's quiet, but he knows, like, he uses a lot of this, and I respect that because when people see us, they see like we're brutes. Besides my second oldest brother, he's too skinny to be a brute. But yeah. So I didn't say nothing or anything. I stood quiet because I didn't want to bring drama into my dad's room, or basically his deathbed. I did not want to bring no drama. But shortly after, drama struck in that room anyway. Okay? Because people assumed they knew what my dad wanted when I knew exactly what he wanted. Because before he went in, he told me exactly what he wanted. He said on his final days and all that, or final hours, minutes, whatever, he wanted us to be together. He said he wanted us to be together. He wanted us to laugh, not cry. He wanted us to remember all the good times with him and everything, which I said I could do. Because with my dad, it was always a good time. Like, yeah, we may have our little scuffles here and there, but all the time it was always a good time, always fun. And like I said, since it happened around the holidays, it really messed me up for the holidays. I could not enjoy, Christmas or New Year's. And it's been like that still for 5 years. We're gonna be 5 years anyway. And I was upset too because, my dad was asleep the whole time. But it wasn't because it was his choice. You know, I know he wanted to be up to see us, to talk to us. But there was people that were making sure he didn't, that he should stay sleeping, which really ticked me off because there's a lot of people that came to come see him. So, they could say hi to him. Because even while he was on his deathbed, he was still making jokes, laughing, and everything. And it hurt to see these people, do this. And like, it just bothered me to the point that when all that was going on, they didn't want nobody in the room. My older brother didn't have a decision. He just went with whatever was going on. But I didn't like the fact that I literally had to, like, do unanimous votes for anybody to come into the room to see my father. It shouldn't have been like that. And they know it too. And it hurts me a lot because, I couldn't speak out against them just because, like I said, I didn't want to bring drama. But if I was somebody else, I would have, but I didn't. Because, I didn't want to be that one. Because then everybody will be against me. So I stood quiet and I took it in. And it didn't help whatsoever. Like, it just started getting worse. Everybody just wanted to be there for him. Like, yeah, there was some fake people there, that were just got there just to say that they were there. And they know who they are. But then we have some of those guys that are, like, genuine, that were there, that wanted to be there, And it sucks because they weren't able to even speak to him because he was always asleep. Saying that that's what he wanted, and which I knew exactly he didn't want to. And I was so pissed throughout that whole time. But I was more worried about my dad than anything else. And it sucked, being there with all that pent up anger about what's been going on. Trying not to wail on anybody while I'm in there. And it hurt to the point, And it sucks too because the people I'm talking about that were kicked out, my sister and my dad's girlfriend at the time. Like, yeah, my dad cheated. Yes, he's a liar. He's all this. But, that's because they want to focus on the bad stuff, They want to focus on all that. But I said it like this. Yeah, look, Bob still loved them. He cared about them and everything. So we really have no right for that. Like, yeah, we may be his kids, but yet this family deserves to see him too. Which I still see this family to this day, and they're hurt by it still. You know, that's because that's basically like you pushing them to the side. That's like part of our family, whether you like it or not. You know, my father laid roots into that family. You know, I'm not saying this on their behalf. This is how I'm feeling about that. Like, yeah, it took me 5 years to actually say something, but that's because I didn't want to be that one. Because I know as soon as I would let it out, all those people would try to come looking for me and start problems with me. But right now, I don't give a shit, because it's bothered me to the point that every year around this time, I can't sleep at night because of the events that occurred those days. And I believe it was probably like 3 days. I think it was four, but I didn't make it to the first one. So I had only 3 days with him. Okay? Not once have I shed a tear for my father when he passed, which is still a mystery to me. While everybody else did, I didn't. And it's not that I wasn't even prepared for him to pass away, because I thought he might make it out. I put more hope into him making it out than anything else. You know, my uncle was hysterical. Like, when my dad stopped breathing, it was it. He was one of the people that we literally had to vote to come in. You know, and I didn't like that. You know, that's my father's uncle, brother, blood brother. Okay, like, yeah, he wasn't the greatest uncle ever. You know, like, yeah, he's a. You know, you could be dying, and and you try to call him, he would not pick up the damn phone. You know, but still, that's his brother, and you're trying to say we have to vote for him to come in. I did not like that voting thing. Okay, and then, at one point they didn't want my mom to be there, which pissed me off a little bit because their mom was there. Like, yeah, she may have been the first, not no disrespect towards her, because I love that lady to death. She treated me nicely, she never did anything bad to me. But still, don't forget, I'm his first son from my mother. My mother deserved to be there, no matter what. That day I called my mom and said, "Mom, come. Because you know what? You deserve to be here in this room. Not just with me and them, no, 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 no. She deserves to be there because my dad still loved her even to his dying breath. And he even said it to her. And it's sad that I'm against my whole family from my dad's side. Like, I have not been able to look at any of them the same ever again. And my dad always told me, "Jay, I don't want you around those. I don't want you around them. Okay? I don't want you around them. I don't want you to be raised around them. Because I raised you to be different. They're the same." And those are his words to me. If he were alive and I would have said that, you can even ask him that he said that. Because I'm going to say this much. My dad was kind of mean to me when I was younger. People were telling him that I wasn't his son, saying that, oh, that I belong to somebody else, saying, shit like that, saying I'll be gay and all that. But my mom told him this. She said, out of all your kids, he will be the one to stay with you. Jay will always be the one to stay with you, no matter what. And that's exactly how it happened. So his final days, I was by his side no matter what. And to this day, I still feel like he could have still been with us if it hadn't been for the medicine he's been taking. And to tell you the truth, the doctor said that he would have been alive for a few months, I believe, or a few more weeks. But no, he passed away 3 days he's been in the hospital. you know, and on his final breaths, he was still looking at me when he passed. He looked at me. He passed when my mom walked into the room, but he passed away looking at me. In other words, that's him probably trying to tell me something, you know. And I still feel, I can still feel his gaze upon me, even while he's gone. So I feel as if he's still watching over me no matter what. He raised me to be better. He raised me to use my head more, not use my fists or anything. Like, he got me involved in a lot of different things, for me to change. Like, he wanted me to change the way I talk because I talked like a sailor way before. I used to curse like in every sentence, and he taught me, Jay, your language is terrible. You need to start speaking properly. And by all means, I started doing that, and people started liking me more. All this. At school, I was talking to my dad about a program I was in. It's called Cool Speak, which there is a YouTube video of me being in that. And it was using your voice and not your physical fit and your physical strength or anything. And I loved that program and everything. Like, it taught me a lot. Thanks to him, I changed into a better person. I wisened up because of my father. But not just because of him too, because him and my mother both pushed me to do better. Like, yeah, he didn't like the fact that I didn't graduate school, but he was still proud of me just because I stood in school. And right now, like I said, I'm a single father right now, and I'm trying to raise my son way better than how my father raised me. Not saying that he didn't raise me good, but he did. I just want to raise my son to be better. And it's sad too because my son looks almost like him too. In certain ways, he has his hair, pictures, and all that. When I see my son, I see my father. It was still a bad time. Like, years go by, this is going to be 5 years already. And it still feels like it just happened yesterday. My family do try and look for me from my dad's side, but I give him the cold shoulder because, like I said, I did not shed one tear. None of them didn't comfort me or anything. Nobody did. Because I was too busy comforting everybody else. My mom was devastated. So were his other baby moms. Devastated. And I don't know. It still bothers me to this day. Like, I have some people saying I'm not human because of it. Now I'm a monster, that I have no emotions and all that. But the truth is that, tell you the truth, I don't even know why I don't show my emotions like that. And I wasn't prepared for it. But, right now I'm trying to live the best way that my dad taught me how to live. And that's with peace. Even though bullshit always finds you no matter what you do. But still, I look forward to peace. And that's all I work for, so I could be comfortable living, Because that's how my dad would want me to be, have a comfortable life, But I'm doing my best for him. I'm doing my best for my son and all that, But there's not much else I could do. I honor his memory every year, I do my best for him and for my mom, for my son, and for myself. I love you, Pa. You're the greatest father in the world. I don't care. He was the greatest. No matter anybody, he was the best. Every kid wanted to be his kid. He always knew how to bring us together. Without him now, it's never gonna happen again. Like I said, I don't respect none of those family members anymore, but except my oldest brother. And I love him too. Anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. Peace out, Skullomaniacs. I hope you like this video and share it.